Back in 2012, Inzektors went from being the underdog to winning the World Championship. As per tradition, being the world's winning deck, Inzektor was hit quite substantially on the next Forbidden Unlimited list, with Hornet and Dragonfly both going to 1. Fast forward to 2014, HAT Format breathes new life into Inzektors. Thanks to Mathematician and Soul Charge from Dragons of Legend, the Hornet and Dragonfly combos are consistent once again. Coupling that with an artifact engine allows us to play further spell and trap removal, so we can trigger our own Inzektor effects by popping them with Ignition or Double Cyclone. This makes Inzektors once again become a force to be reckoned with. Without further ado, this is my take on Inzektors for HAT Format. For the monsters, I play 3 copies of Centipede. As both Hornet and Dragonfly are limited to 1 in HAT format, you need to play some other Inzektor names so you can get your effects off. Obviously Hornet is the best card to pair with Centipede so you can get the pop, but Ladybug is also a good card to pair with it. Ladybug can increase the level of your Inzektor monsters by 2, allowing you to make rank 5 plays with the artifacts. Then I play 1 copy of Dragonfly. Dragonfly allows you to summon any Inzektor from your deck when an equip card equipped to it leaves the field. This is by far the best Inzektor monster in the deck, and which is why it was limited to 1. Then I play 1 copy of Hornet. Hornet is not as good in an artifact meta as it was back in 2012, but it's still a very important tool to out your opponent's established field, as well as pop your own cards for your combos. And for the last Inzektor in the main deck, I play 1 copy of Gigamantis. Gigamantis is the worst one to open with, seeing as he's level 6 and you cannot normal summon him. But with Ladybug you can target artifacts to increase their level, thus allowing Dragonfly to summon Gigamantis from your deck and making a rank 6 play. Then I play 2 copies of Inzektor Sword Sect Caliber. This is also a combo piece that is searchable off of Centipede and allows you to float back into the Dragonfly should you get interrupted. As the Inzektor lineup is very small, I decided I needed more starter cards, so I'm playing 3 copies of Mathematician. Mathematician can foolish your Inzektor monsters to the graveyard, allowing you to make use of their effects on the following turn. You can also trade nicely into a turn 1 Remelio or Abyss Pike, seeing as you can crash him into their monster and draw a card. For the artifacts, I play 3 copies of Moral Tack, 1 Beagle Tack, and 1 Scythe. To go along with this, I play 3 copies of Artifact Ignition and 3 copies of Artifact Sanctum. A key thing about Inzektor combos, particularly with Dragonfly, is when you pop an equip spell equipped to it, you can summon a monster from your deck. So even when you don't have a Hornet or a Ladybug to send while equipped to a Dragonfly to get a tutor from your deck, you can pop something like Centipede equipped to a Dragonfly and still get the summon from your deck. As such, I'm also playing 2 copies of Double Cyclone, which pairs very well with the Ignition or Hard Drawn artifacts, but also with the Inzektor combos. Then I play 3 copies of Upstart Goblin so I can see my combo pieces, 3 copies of Soul Charge, the reason to play the deck. You can easily fuel up the graveyard, and seeing as you have a Hornet, Inzektor is one of the best decks to utilize Soul Charge to break apart the field. For the non-engine, I play 3 copies of Max C. If you can stop your opponent from getting to their best field, you can capitalize quite hard off of that with the artifacts or with the Inzektor engine. Then I play 2 copies of DD Crow. Crow is very good in this deck because you really want to stop the artifact Moral Attack from popping your Centipede or your Dragonfly, while similar to Maxi allows you to stop your opponent from making their combo. Say they use their Mermail effects, pitching Atlantean for a cost, you can chain Crow to banish it. By moving a card from the graveyard to the banishment before it gets a chance to activate, they lose the ability to activate that card. Thus, DD Crow can function as a negate for cards like Atlantean Dragoons. Then I'm main decking just 3 trap cards, being Bottomless, Torrential, and Compulsory Evacuation Device. Being just solid removal against their Soul Charge pushes, with also Compulse being able to clear any threat, or save your Dragonfly from their removal so you can use it on the next turn. For the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Herald of Pure Light. This can add back your Inzektors or shuffle back artifacts from your hand into your deck. You can make this with Ladybug and Maxi. 1 copy of Wind Up Senmains, 1 Ghost Trick Alucard, 1 Levier the Sea Dragon, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Volcasaurus, 1 Pallades, 1 Tiras, 1 Adrius, 1 Sinmayo, 1 Durandal, 1 M7. Partially because you play Pallades, you can overlay this on top of a Pallades in the grind game, but also to add back hand traps or your Inzektor monsters. You can also hard make this, or just make a Photon Strike Bouncer with Gigamantis and a monster increased with Ladybug's effect to a level 6. For the last Exceed, 1 copy of Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. For the side deck, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of Flying Sea against Yugioh, 2 copies of Fire Hand, and 2 copies of Ice Hand, 1 Dark Hole, 1 DNA Surgery for Spellbooks and Bujin, 1 Solemn Warning for when you go first and want to stop their summons, 2 Debunk. It is quite pivotal that you negate DD Crow, because if they crow you on your Inzektor effects, it can be quite annoying for your combos. And Debunk is also just a solid trap against decks like Mermails. And then 2 copies of Trap Stun. If you can just trap stun their entire back row, you can usually just go for game or pop all of their cards. Particularly against Yugioh, who usually doesn't play artifact, you can make use of trap stun negating their entire back row and popping all of their cards without fear of artifacts. If you enjoy my content, make sure to also subscribe to my second channel, linked in the description box down below. There I'll be posting more personalized and exclusive content.